just 1 month into 2025. And if the non-functioning government and the low demand in real estate was not an issue, we have the major one to top it all. And yes, I know you're all talking about that, is the Trump's threat and decision to implement tariffs against Canada and Mexico starting February 1st. So while there's so much craziness around there, in this video, I want to keep it short, but walk you through the impact on us, the impact on real estate, and what it truly means for us. So stay tuned. So before I jump in, my name is Raghav Manchanda and I am the managing broker of 7 Lending. We specialize with helping you invest in private mortgages and get alternate mortgage products. So for more such videos on private mortgages, investing, real estate in Canada, or the current news, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. So let's start with the basics. What exactly are tariffs? Tariffs are essentially a tax imposed by the government on all imported goods and services. So in this case, what Trump is proposing, that say a manufacturer buys $100 million worth of steel from Canada, they will now have to pay 25% tariff, so 25 million in taxes to buy the same steel from Canada. What will happen here is the government will collect those 25 million, but it will increase the cost of buying the same good or service. Why does a country put tariffs? There are two main reasons. Number one is protectionism. It wants to make products being bought from other countries more expensive, so consumers buy local or maybe buy from a different source. The number two reason is to increase revenue. The higher the tax, the more money they get to pocket. And those are as simple as it gets when it comes to why Trump is likely doing this. Now, why this is concerning for all of us here and why it's scary is that Canada, out of all its export, 75% of its exports go to the United States. And in 2023, Canada almost exported 440 billion worth of goods and services to the United States, but they only imported about $421 billion worth of goods and services. So that means Canada has a surplus of almost 19 billion in exports to the United States. Now, those numbers are really big. And that's why there are so many economists, even the Prime Minister, scared about the impact. And we're all wondering, is that are we heading into a bigger recession or an economic downturn with these events? Now, the big question is, how will these tariffs affect us and affect our economy? And this is where it gets concerning. The number one thing we are concerned about is the challenges for exporters because of the lower demand. Now, these exporters who were majorly pushing their products to the United States will find that now their products have become much more expensive for consumption because they're almost increasing their price by 25%, which is a fourth of the price. So something for 100 is now 125. So manufacturing companies will find a challenge because US manufacturers or other companies who take raw material from Canada might look for local or other producers who can give them cheaper products because they are concerned about their profit. Because now there is a lesser supply, these countries will not know what to do with the product because now they have to find market at other countries. We can try other Mexican markets, South American markets, or others, but that will take time to develop. So in the short term, they will not know where to sell, and this will cause economic problems. The second part of the second effect of this situation is the supply chain disruptions. Because of how the relationship with Canada and United States have been, there's been a really free border access for a lot of industries like automobile, oil and gas, where they might make raw materials, send it to the United States, then it comes back to the US, to Canada to get finished, and so on and so forth. This happens a lot, especially for automobile. Now, this will cause problems because every time it gets exported or imported, there is a tariff now. The third thing, which is the most concerning, is the economic uncertainty. Just based on this news, so many investors are panicked about investing in Canada. There's low investor confidence. I mean, I just saw on news, and I don't know if this is verified, that even the Crown Prince of Saudi is selling 4 or 5 penthouses in Vancouver at a $10 million loss. Not that amount is a lot for him, but that shows you sentiment of investors as they're not sure where the Canadian economy is heading. And of course, our Prime Minister and Parliament situation is completely different. But the number 4 is the high cost of loonie and the increasing cost. So what happens is, because of this investor confidence, Canadian dollar is deteriorating when it is comparing to US dollars. What happens is, for a lot of our products, Canada imports a lot of things, whether it's food, vegetables, so many things like this. Because most of these transactions are done on USD, if the Canadian dollar loses value, a lot of these imports would become much more expensive, and the consumers will face the consequences of more expensive products, groceries, etc. So these are the four concerning pillars of how the tariffs can directly affect us. As a homeowner or investor in real estate, how does that affect you? There are a few different things. Number one is the cost of housing materials will likely go up, and it will lead to more expensive homes being built, as if that was not a problem with the Canadian economy. The reason is because most likely how the Canadian economy and politics will respond to this is there will be a tariff war or a trade war. They've put a tariff on our products, we'll put a tariff on their product, because in the absence of a proper government, that seems like the most obvious solution. And with that, because we import so much of housing material from the United States, the cost to build homes will increase. The second thing is the demand will be all over the place. We don't know what the investor confidence is. The values should likely drop. There will be uncertainty. This will cause a lot of problem with prices or uncertainty with demand because of the investor confidence. And number three is the volatility with rates, because the rates will, we don't know where the rates will go, because the government cannot just keep on reducing it, they cannot increase it. We're in a standstill. They will not know where to go, whether to find inflation, whether to do this or that. So there will be a lot of uncertainty about the lending rates, the Bank of Canada rates, or the prime rates. And that will affect all of us. Now, whether we find that this is all the hoax, Trump is blowing up smoke, or in a few months he changes his mind, I do think politics is a game we do not necessarily understand. I think there's a hidden agenda. There's a lot of things on his mind, whether that is pertaining to NAFTA or something else. And I think in 6 to 12 months we will truly find out what Trump really wants to do. But for the short term, I do see, as investors, as homeowners, as anyone out there who's participating actively in the economy, we should be concerned. So if you're an investor or a homeowner, what I would say is, if you're looking to invest, well, great, have a lot of liquid cash in your pocket. Make sure you're on the conservative side and make smart decisions. Be like Warren Buffett did in the 2008 economic downturn, is invest in principally good investments. Don't use borrowed money to invest, period. If you're a homeowner, stay tuned. Make sure you're connected to individuals, connected to knowledgeable professionals, and don't panic. We've gone through tough financial times. If you have right foundations and want to know how to build those right foundations, contact us. But there is ways we can, as a country, get out of this. But the biggest thing I hope for is political certainty for Canada. We need a proper functioning government and a parliament to smartly combat these and take the next step.